Yo, what's up, guys? What an embarrassing way to lose a football game. Honestly, guys, the Dallas Cowboys lose 27-20 against the Cincinnati Bengals on a play that I rarely see, but only the Dallas Cowboys could pull off. Right, guys? So, to start the game, obviously, we saw the Cowboys start off on defense, did a good job stopping the Bengals, and then surprisingly enough, guys, the Dallas Cowboys drove downfield to get their first opening drive touchdown of the season. Listen, it was a great throw by Cooper Rush to CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb finally breaking his 5-game streak of not receiving a touchdown, guys. I cannot believe CeeDee Lamb has gone 5 games without receiving a touchdown, but he had until last night, of course. So he snaps that. Cowboys take an early 7-0 lead. Then after, Cincinnati responds right away. Joe Burrow drives them downfield, makes a great throw to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is able to get himself in the end zone. Great catch by Jamar Chase. Bengals tied it up 7-7. Then after the Cowboys get the ball back, Cooper Rush once again drives them downfield. But once again, the Dallas Cowboys have problems in the red zone, guys. Cooper Rush drops back, tries to throw it to CeeDee Lamb, who's completely covered, and he throws an interception, guys. That is the Cowboys' leading 7th red zone turnover this season, guys. They lead the NFL. The thing is about that play, guys, you had Jake Ferguson going around CeeDee Lamb, was wide open. Cooper Rush doesn't see him, throws the pick. Cowboys turn the ball over, guys. Then after, luckily enough, the Cowboys defense did a really good job. They stopped the Bengals once again. Cowboys drive back downfield, get a field goal, take a 10-7 lead. Okay. But then after, guys, Cincinnati respond. Joe Burrow drives them again downfield. He finds Canadian Chase Brown. Chase Brown is able to stay in bounds, guys, hugging the sideline. He gets a touchdown. And the Bengals go on and take a 14-10 lead, guys. Then after, the game is a little bit slow after Cowboys have a couple 3-and-outs. So do the Bengals. Bengals get a late field goal in the second quarter. And the Bengals take a 17-10 lead going into the first half. Then after, guys, we saw Cooper Rush and the Cowboys get another touchdown, guys, on the opening drive of the second half. Very surprising. He drives them downfield. Rico Dowdle, who had a really solid game, guys. Rico Dowdle goals, drives them downfield, guys. And then Cooper Rush finds Brandon Cooks wide open, guys. Great throw by Cooper Rush. Cowboys tied the game up. Now, the other thing is, guys, is that the game once again got a little bit slow. The Cowboys offense at times obviously stagnant. But I will say this, though. The game got a little bit boring. And then after, the Cowboys get a field goal. Bengals get a field goal. The game is tied up at 20-20. Third quarter wasn't very entertaining. But then after, guys, we saw what happened in the fourth quarter, of course. So obviously the Cowboys stopped the Bengals. And the Cowboys are lucky, too, because the refs didn't see that face mask on the Cowboys. Joe Burrow gets his face completely yanked off. And then after, Cowboys go, and the Bengals try to punt. And I'm thinking, holy shit, the Cowboys are going to get themselves some good field position here. But then that dummy rookie, Oluwarie, touches the football, gives the ball back to the Bengals, and Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, the LSU connection, finds him, and Jamar Chase makes one move, blows by Deron Bland, and he's not even touched. And the Bengals go on to score the touchdown, and that is the final touchdown of the game, guys. The Bengals obviously went on to win that game 27-20 because of some incompetence by the Dallas Cowboys special teams, guys. Now, listen, guys. First thing I got to say is, thank God. Thank God. If the Cowboys had won this football game, guys, you understand what would be going on here? We would be talking about, well, not me, but other people would be talking about how the Cowboys could run the table now. They've won 3 in a row. They're going to try to get to a playoff spot, a wild card spot, all this bullshit. Thank God they lost this football game. Okay, and now, like I said, guys, I don't want to see the Cowboys lose football games. But you're not going anywhere with Cooper Rush at quarterback. I'm sorry, you're not. You're just not. There is no way in hell that you are. Okay, it is absolutely ridiculous to think the Cowboys winning football games benefits them. It doesn't. Now, we all saw Micah Parsons at the end of the game. He was completely irate, right? He even walked off the field after the Cowboys lost this football game. Now, this is what he says after the game. He goes, "I'm hurt. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. You can't put that into words. It seems like we're paying a due. That's not fair. I don't know if it's bad luck or karma. This one hurt me more than any loss this year, probably even worse than the playoff loss, to be honest, because where we were going, how we were playing good football." Now, listen, I understand that Micah Parsons cares. That's great and all that Micah cares. Don't get me wrong, guys. But the fact that he said that this loss hurt more than the playoff loss, that is ridiculous. That's ridiculous to say. How can you say a regular season game when you're 3 games under 500 feels worse than a playoff loss? How? How can this loss feel worse? You don't have a starting quarterback. The team is depleted with injuries. We didn't even have Zach Martin playing in this game. Cooper Beebe got hurt with the concussion. This team is nowhere near ready to compete. And this guy says that this game here hurts more than a playoff loss when you had a 12-win season last year and aspirations to win? Micah, please shut up when you talk, dude. Or talk with a little bit more sense. It's a ridiculous comment to be making. Honestly. You should not be saying that a regular season loss is worse than a playoff. You should never say that. Never. I understand you're emotional, but you don't say that. A regular season loss worse than a playoff loss. No way, dude. No way. Now, one thing I will say, though, guys, about the defense, they did battle for Mike McCarthy. There are times where I'm thinking to myself, this team's playing a little bit too hard for a coach that should be gone at the end of the year. Right? But guys like Troy Aikman was saying it during the cast that maybe the Cowboys should think about keeping Mike McCarthy. He's a good head coach, The players are battling for him, and Jerry Jones thinks he's a good coach. That shit worries me a little bit because I think it's time for a change. It's been 5 years. The coach hasn't gotten it done. But if you got a Hall of Famer like Troy saying it, you see the play and the players, you never know. Jerry Jones might say, screw it, we're going to give him an extension. That worries me a little bit. But luckily enough, they didn't win this football game because, like I've been saying, guys, they need to worry about getting a top draft pick. That should be their number one priority, getting a guy like an Ashton Genty, somebody like him who can help the offense, with the run game. Or you got to get somebody on defense, like a nose tackle, somebody. You got to get somebody who's going to help this team right away. If you continue to win games, it doesn't benefit them. So this loss here was an embarrassing way to lose, absolutely sure. But it was a good thing they did lose the Cowboys because it continues to rise their draft stock, guys. Now, they're going to play the Carolina Panthers next week. And the funniest thing is about that, guys, the Carolina Panthers are favored in a game for the first time in 2 years. How embarrassing is that? Now, you know for a fact the Cowboys are probably going to want to win that game because they know that what the scoreline is for that game. So, we'll see what happens next week against the Carolina Panthers, guys. But absolutely an embarrassing way to lose a football game. Guys, the team, obviously we see the injuries. Cooper Rush ain't that good. He threw for 166 yards. Okay, he didn't have a great game. But then when you see guys like Jamar Chase, Jamar Chase had an absolute monstrous game. My God, 14 receptions, 177 yards. My God, what a wide receiver this guy is. Joe Burrow too. I feel really bad for Joe Burrow, guys. Joe Burrow's one of my favorite quarterbacks. He's a phenomenal quarterback, guys. One of the only quarterbacks with 30-plus touchdowns this year. So Joe Burrow's doing everything he can to win football games for the Bengals. The Bengals are absolutely atrocious on defense. They got problems themselves, guys, injuries as well, I understand. But man, oh man, guys, when Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, when those two are clicking, they are very hard to beat, guys. And them losing Joe Mixon did not help them at all either. So I understand why the Bengals are having such a horrendous year. No O-line to protect Burrow. So they got some problems of their own, but not as bad as the Cowboys, guys. Like I mentioned, Zach Martin, he's done. And another player, guys, that unfortunately we lost, speaking of injuries, DeMarvion Overshown, guys. My God. Really unfortunate by DeMarvion Overshown, guys. Where he had that injury, guys, where the pile-up happens. Somebody falls on his knee, guys. You knew right away it was bad. I feel so bad for the kid. I love the kid's energy. He is an absolute baller, guys. DeMarvion Overshown. Fights every play, guys. You know, tackles every play. He's an absolute beast. And to see this kid go down again 2 straight years in a row, tearing his ACL last year in training camp, and now hurting his knee again, guys. Absolutely unfortunate to see. Like I mentioned as well, Cooper Beebe has a concussion. Probably won't see him for a little bit, guys. And then another thing I'm going to mention again about the special teams, guys. When a professional team coaches for the entire week and they tell their players, if there's a blocked punt, an onside kick, make sure you either fall on the football or don't touch it. And that rookie, Oluwarie, man, oh man, is he stupid to touch that football or not, just run away from it. You know, I don't know what the hell goes on during the week at the start, guys, with the special teams. I'm just absolutely amazed what an amateur move that was by the Dallas Cowboys, guys, to lose a football game that way. Imagine if we needed that win. Imagine if the Cowboys were competing and they lost in that game. Oh my God. Imagine if that was like last year, we won 12 games and the Cowboys lost the game that way for the division or something. Oh my God. It would be absolutely disastrous, guys, to witness something like that, honestly. But guys, listen, this was a tough way to lose a football game, but it's going to benefit the Cowboys in the long haul, if you guys ask me. Watching Micah Parsons get upset about a loss that means absolutely nothing, absolutely ridiculous. I know he's a competitor, but dude, the season's a wash. The season's over. I don't know why you're still trying to win bloody football games, but I think this team here now is just trying to battle for Mike McCarthy. They're just trying to hope that he gets an extension so they can continue this country club bullshit that's going on in Dallas and Jerry Jones. Because they can't, if they hire a real head coach that wants discipline, who knows what's going to happen down the line, obviously, right, guys? But embarrassing way to lose a football game, guys. That is not how you want to see the Cowboys losing football games. But listen, guys, that's how it rolls, and that's how we'll take it. But the Cowboys got the Carolina Panthers next week at 1 o'clock. We'll see how they do then. But guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, click like if you like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Go Cowboys, go guys. And remember, if you do not watch sports, you're a more. Ciao, guys.